Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday. I think the time is probably pretty close to 8:30. Might even be going on 9 o'clock. I haven't looked at the clock since I came back from the gym. I came home, hubby had my dinner ready. I had some spaghetti and a small salad. I'm eating smaller portions. And then I ran around in here and did a quick little tidy up because I am trying to get myself back into doing a few things in the house, at least 30 minutes every day. It wasn't quite 30 minutes today, to be honest with you, but I did do a few things in lieu of trying to tidy up things. I'm just trying to get back into the whole house routine of getting things organized, putting things away. I recently did a trip to the storage unit, and so that was a whole thing within itself. As you all know, I don't have proper storage in my home. A lot of times I have to pull things out of storage and I have to take things to storage. So I'm in the process of trying to get that all together, and believe you me, it's not going well. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Welcome you to today's vlog. I would say I have no idea where we're going to end up, but I think we might end up here on the floor tonight. I just really feel the need to chat with you all. And again, I say it over and over again, but you all always come through when I do my little chat videos. And I started this vlog off thinking, you know what? I am going to vlog a few days this week. But honestly, I haven't really been outside of the home other than going for my workouts, stuff like that. So I haven't really done anything that I could actually like go out and full on vlog for you. But I will say that there has been some things happening. I feel the need to chat about it. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of this moment this evening and chat a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about my workout routine, why I have decided that I really want to be a little bit more in than what I was before. And I also want to talk about where I am weight wise, not to embarrass myself or talk about anybody else's weight, but I want to talk about a few things that kind of go into that category. And then I'm going to call myself out on something that happened to me today. And the reason why I want to call myself out on that is because as it happened and when it unfolded to be what it was, I really had to say, God, thank you. Thank you. Got myself a little bit of tea. There's a little napkin sticking to the bottom of that. I don't want the condensation to get all over the carpet. And because I am sitting right here on the floor, I do have some coasters up there. In all honesty, I think I need to get myself some better coasters. Not necessarily better coasters, but some more workable coasters. I guess that's better in a way. They're cute, but I don't know how practical they are because whenever I use like a real glass, or in this case, this is just a cup, but sometimes at night lately, I've been indulging myself in something like some tea or lemonade. And of course, the condensation leaks all over. Coaster isn't absorbing anything. That's neither here nor there right now because that's again is not what we're here to talk about. I've been seeing comments on my videos and people are going through a lot of things right now. Some of you are trying to lose weight, some of you are just trying to be in shape, some of you are just trying to make a step across the floor, and believe you me, I understand. If you just say I just would be thankful if I could walk from my bedroom to the living room without being out of breath, I'm gonna just say thank you, Jesus. And you know what, I'm 100% in support of you taking those little baby steps. You know that song, put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor. You know what I'm talking about. I'm a firm believer of that. I have never, ever looked at myself or looked at someone else and thought of something to say to be embarrassing to that person. You be thankful for where you are. A little bit of backstory. As you all know, I'm a breast cancer survivor. I do take a pill every day, and I will be taking this pill every day for now, I guess the next 10 years, because they told me 15 and I've been on it for about 5. So I guess I got another 10 years to go to take this pill. The negative part about this pill is it does cause you to gain weight. Now, the first couple years, I don't think I even noticed it that much because I was, I won't say I was underweight, but I was pretty thin. And so I saw a few pounds coming on here and there. And I thought, well, I'm just going back up to my normal size. And then all of a sudden, I surpassed my normal size and the weight just kept coming. I find it very hard to talk about sometimes because it really breaks my spirit when I think about it because I've always had this one number in mind, and when I surpass that number and I feel like I'm struggling so bad to get back to that number, but at the same time, I can't stop taking the medication because I need it because it's a hormone type of pill. And with all the situation that I had going on with the breast cancer, I have to have this pill. So it's a battle for me, and it's something that I deal with on the inside, and I try very hard not to let it show on the outside. Now, you may say, why are you sitting here talking about that right now? I'm sitting here talking about it right now because I feel the need to say it out loud because this week was, there was some challenging things that happened to me this week, and my dedication, and it's just a whole lot of thoughts running through my head. And I thought, you know what? If you say this out loud and you talk to the camera about this, that's you owning it. And that's you taking a really big step and being able to do the best that you can, and also be that person that it can encourage someone else that might be going through the same thing. Like, you may not be taking a pill every day from breast cancer, but you may be taking something else. You may have a thyroid problem, or you may just have other issues that are causing you to put on weight or hold on to weight, or who knows what. It is a part of life. It's a part of reality for so many people. And of course, as they've been saying on the TikToks and all the things, that skinny is back in, the BBLs are out and the skinny is back in. And I have to say that it's hard sometimes when you see the skinny out there and you're trying to just make it above water. Like, you're just saying, I just need to get to here. I'm not trying to be skinny per se. I just need to get to here. And it can be very discouraging when you're fighting up against those odds because the world is literally all over the place. Back to what I want to really chat with you about. Like I said, I mainly just needed to say that out loud because I come down really hard on myself when I realize that my fight is up against a wall. Even though I am fighting to lose a few pounds to get myself back in shape, I fear the reality of it is the weight isn't going to just drop off because I'm popping that pill in my mouth every day. That's a hormonal induced pill, and that is going to make my hormones do the things that it need to do in order for me not to have cancer grow in my body again. So I'm so thankful for that. But it is definitely an experience for me because I never thought of myself of having to deal with a true on weight issue. Now, some of you are going to probably look at me and say, girl, please, what are you talking about, a weight issue? This is not me saying, oh, I have this huge weight problem, but I'm coming to reality of that no matter how much I work out, I may not get to the goal that I want to based on the reality of what I'm doing. Not trying to judge or speak on anybody else's behalf, but this is more or less, let's just be real with who we are. And at some point in life, we have to understand and become comfortable with the body that we have. That being said, we're going to talk about me for this week. So while I'm saying we're going to be comfortable with the body that we have, we should never be ashamed of what we have. We should never be ashamed of any part of our body, right? We should look at ourselves and be grateful for everything that God has blessed us with. By the same token, we do need to be cognizant of our health. Our health journey should be a goal that we set for ourselves. And that health journey is going to be different for every one of us because we all have different avenues, different issues that we have to work through. When I say health journey, my health journey will be mine and yours will be yours. So respectfully always remember that and never ever fall into that category where you're trying to pin yourself up against somebody else's journey or somebody else's weight loss or somebody else's weight gain, whatever it is. You deal with the face that's in the mirror. Like right now, I'm sitting in front of a mirror. I look at that face in the mirror. That's who I am dealing with. That's the person that I'm working with. I'm not working with the person down the street or the person on the other side of this camera. And you all don't look at me sitting in front of you on this side of the camera, speaking to you, and use my journey as something that make you feel like you need to be there or you need to do this or you need to do that. I'm not any kind of fitness person. My little things that I do in the gym are so minor in comparison to what I know is out there. I'm just a person that I want to tone up. I want to lose a few pounds if I can. and I want to be in the best health that I can going into my 60th year. I'm going to be 60 in less than 3 months, and I need to be on my P's and Q's. I want to be in top shape. I am trying not to focus on the numbers. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be very real and say that focusing on the numbers, it happens. Okay. It does happen. I'm a little bit fixated on the number that I see when I get on the scale, but I'm telling myself that I need to let go of that number and just focus on doing the best that I can, moving my body and being true to myself to get into the gym. My workout schedule really is basically Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then I say, if I can get in another day, that's great. But if I can't, that's okay too. But if I can at least work out 3 days out of the week, that's gravy for me. A little bit of story about me this week, why I feel so obligated to sit here and talk about this. I'm only on I believe this is my third week, I think, or is this my second? I want to just make it what I'm doing and not really focus on, okay, well, I've been doing this for 3 days or 3 weeks or whatever. And why haven't this happened? Because it's so easy to get into that mode of thinking where you're thinking, I've done this week. I'm on week 2. I'm on week 3. Why haven't I seen a change? And I'm saying that honestly because I have been there already in the short period of time that I've been back working out. So the fact that I'm not sure if I'm on my second or my third week really kind of makes me feel good because that means I have kind of somewhat let it go. Yes, it is something that I do deal with myself. And again, me sitting here tonight being raw and honest about some things, okay? That first week, I'm all in there, I'm all gung ho. Second week, and again, I'm not sure if I'm on my second or my third week, but I'm on my third week. But again, I'm not trying to focus on that, but I'm saying this give you an idea where what I'm talking about. Second week was okay, I'm still at it. But this week was a little bit of a trial for me. And I'm saying this because I had to listen to my body and I also had to listen to my mind and know when to say enough is enough to my body and enough is enough to my mind. That may sound totally confusing and it's almost something that's contradictory when you say it out loud or you think about it without really thinking about it. Monday, I don't typically work out on Mondays. This Monday, I was driving home and I was feeling very, very tired. That feeling like I just want to get home and I just want to lay my head down home. And for whatever reason, I was literally standing here for a hot minute. I think I was a little bit off my schedule this week. Holiday is normally off on Monday. I think my mind was thinking that it wasn't Monday that I needed to work out because I stood here on the floor for a few minutes and I thought, you know what? It would be so nice if I could go work out today, not really thinking that it was Monday and it wasn't really my day to work out. But that thought only lasted about 10 seconds. And then I told myself, take your butt in there, get on that chair and don't get up. Take a little nap. Give yourself some grace today. You're exhausted and you're tired. You need to listen to your body. So I got in the chair and I will tell y'all I was probably asleep within I want to say not even a minute. I don't even remember literally sitting in the chair, and I remember waking up because I heard my husband walking through the kitchen, and there he was. He was awake because he was in here taking his little nap when I came home. If you know, you know, hubby takes a nap almost every day. I'm not a napper. I see him putting on his shoes, and I realize he's getting ready to go work out. Well, his famous words is, "I'm gonna go get some road work in." And I'm sitting there, and now I'm awake from my nap, and I thought, "Well, do you mind if I go with you?" Not that he would ever mind, and of course, he said no. We didn't get very far because the weather kinda turned for the worst. We may have walked, I don't know, not a mile, I wanna say maybe a half a mile, maybe, I'm not real sure, before we ended up having to come back home. But I felt good in that I was able to say, "Okay, you know what? I'm going out there and I'm gonna take that walk." Even though a few minutes before, I was so exhausted that I wouldn't have ever even imagined taking a walk. Now, this is where I'm thinking to myself, I had to listen to my body in that I came home and I took a nap. I listened to my mind when the opportunity came about that I could go and work out after taking my nap. So sometimes we do have to take the breather, bounce back up, and be ready to go on to the next step. Fast forward to Tuesday. Tuesday is a typical workout day. I come home and I'm thinking, Jim's feeling kind of rough right now. I am tired. You know what? I got to do it. I got to go get this workout in. So I change my clothes, and then hubby says, well, he's going to go get some road work in. So I'm thinking, well, if you're going to go get some road work in, then I will walk with you. We did our usual walk that we do quite often. Here I am today. I'm driving home and I'm feeling pretty tired again. And as I'm driving home, I'm thinking, it's Wednesday. What workout can I do to make it the easiest workout possible? I see lightning in the sky. So I'm thinking, oh boy, we're about to hit another storm. Walk in the door and I stand here for a few minutes and I'm thinking to myself, what are you going to do? I put on my workout clothes and I kept looking outside. And I think there was almost a part of me that was saying, come on, storm, come on. Come on, storm, bring it on, like give me a reason not to do anything. I head out to the gym. Now, this is truly a testimony when I tell y'all this part. I get there and I don't have my headset. And I'm thinking, I can't work out without my headset. I even come home and get my headset and go back to the gym. But on my way to the gym the first time, and this is where I'm calling myself out. On my way to the gym for the first time, I see this man that's walking in the complex. What draws me to him is he's carrying a huge red duffel bag and he has something that looks like an oxygen tank on his back. And then he has these pole like things that are very sharp on the end. And there's two of them. They're like these spear looking things. I'll be very frank right now. And I hope I don't offend anybody by what I'm getting ready to say, but it's really sad that my mind went to something scary versus having the trust that this person was not up to anything bad, because we're in a world now where when you see something that looks so not normal, you can go there in thought. And I went there in thought. I mean, I full on went there in thought. I also want to say that may have been that little voice in me trying to say, girl, take your butt back home and not work out today. Cause this is crazy person out here in these streets and you need to go back home and be safe. I see that he's going inside the gym. And then I see someone else in the gym. So I'm almost feeling a little bit better now because I'm thinking, okay, it's two of us in here. And I see him and he's on the treadmill and all of a sudden, he's running full speed. So I'm thinking he's okay. He's just trying to get his workout on. He's not paying any attention to me. I hear this noise behind me because the treadmill stops and I see him go behind me. So I kind of turn to the side. I'm like, what you doing over there, bro? That's what I'm thinking. I see him throw something over his back and I see him and he's putting on all the stuff, but I can't full on turn around because I'm on the elliptical machine and I know I've been calling it, sometimes I call it pre-core and sometimes I call it elliptical, but it's all the same thing. I see him put on a jacket. So then I'm like, wow, he's he's really going all in, whatever he's doing. But when he puts on his jacket, I realize that this is the back of his jacket says, I couldn't read the whole thing because I'm looking at it from the side, and I see FD for fire department. And I kind of laughed to myself and I said, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So again, he hops back on the treadmill and now he's got on a jacket. He's got on some other stuff. I don't even know what it all is. He has this belt thing around his waist and he's on the treadmill. And the next thing I know, he's full on running with all of this equipment on him. And I'm looking over there on the side and I'm on the machine just going and I'm thinking, okay, I'm never going to be you, but I'd be darned if I'm going to quit at this moment. I'm going to make my 30 minutes on this bad boy. I'm just going. And I'm like, the more I'm looking at him, I'm over here going, I can do this. I can do this. I see him get off the treadmill again, and then I see him go back over, and now he's got his little gas mask thing on. And he's got the tank on his back, and he puts on a few more things, and he gets back on the treadmill again. And I'm thinking, what the hey, man? This dude is full on. He is getting a workout. I mean, and when I tell y'all this man is running, he is full on running. He gets off the treadmill and I see that I hear noises and I can't see him. But again, I'm like kind of nosy at this point now because I'm fascinated by this guy. And I'm like trying to look over my shoulder. He is down on all fours and he's crawling, but he's got all this equipment on him and he's balancing the equipment so nothing doesn't fall from one side to the other. Totally fascinating. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. And I am literally, as I'm looking at this, my mind is just blown at this point, right? So my 30 minutes is up. My little beeper goes off on my machine. It only works out for 30 minutes and then it goes off. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I made my 30 minutes. And at this point now, he is getting up and I see him take off his stuff. And I'm kind of walking slow. I'm having to clean off my machine and everything. And I'm actually really trying to be very, very nosy because I'm so fascinated at this point. And I make eye contact. He smiles at me. And at this point, I could not help but say to him, thank you for all that you do. He says, just trying to stay in shape, ma'am. I said, it takes a special person, and seeing you do all this puts a whole new perspective on what a fireman does. You go out every day saving lives and doing the things, and you're keeping yourself in shape so you're better able to save lives and take care of us. And I thank you. We had a little small conversation. He was kind of giving me an idea of what everything weighed. And basically, he was almost at his own body weight with all this stuff that he was putting on. But there were the spear things that I told you that I saw, which is what really kind of frightened me in the first place because I thought, wow, I don't know what that stuff is. Those are the spears that they use to like knock a door open or break a window if they needed to get into a home if it's on fire. Well, there were two of them, and he said the two of them together weighed 50 pounds. 50 pounds for those two spears. And I was just in awe at what it takes to be a fireman, what it takes to go into a burning building. I had to be humble. I got in my car and I literally said, God, I am so sorry. I wasn't judging him, but I guess in a sense, I may have been. Like I was fearful of him because I didn't understand what all he had and I didn't understand all the stuff that I was seeing. And then I thought for a moment, I said, how sad of a world are we in that I see a person and I automatically go to thinking something bad? Should have just been thinking he's just a man out on a walk. But I went into deep thought of what I thought he was or what danger I could have been in. Also, subconsciously, I was allowing that stuff to make me feel like I could just go back home and not get the workout in. So, I'm going to close this out by just talking about the things that we come up against when we're trying to do certain things or something good for ourselves, such as going to the gym or trying to cut back on the food that you eat or trying to just eat healthy in general or just wanting to be able to do the bare minimum. And even though you're saying to yourself, I just want to be able to walk from my bedroom to my kitchen without being out of breath, there are going to be those days where you're going to sit on the corner of your bed and you're going to look and down the hall or to the next room and you're going to say, I'm too tired to even try. And it could be a moment that your body is saying, you know what, lay back down and take a little bit of a nap. Don't get up just yet. You take the nap, you get up, and you go right on out that door and take that walk to get into the other room. You have to learn to know the difference. It's not easy to know the difference. You're thinking, is it really my body right now telling me that I'm tired? Or is it my mind telling me that I'm tired? And that's a struggle. That is something that you have to figure out how to overcome in your own way. Don't ever look at what I do and think that you have to be like me or do what I do. Like I said, I'm no gym expert. I know nothing. I just know that I do what I can, when I can, and how I can. So don't use me as an example. Allow me to be that voice of reason with you to know that when you get into the cycle of things, you're going to constantly have setbacks. You're constantly going to have those moments where you just don't want to. You're going to see a guy walking down the street and he's going to make you want to turn around and go back in your house because you're going to think, is he going to bring me harm? Now, don't be stupid, be wise. But also, again, that's what I'm saying. When you have several things going on in your mind, you have to figure out which one is the good, which one is the bad, which one do I listen to, which one do I not listen to. You know, that old devil, he's always trying to push you back. So you're up against some things when you're trying to do the right thing. This was my rough week, and I still have another day to go because I still got to make it to that gym tomorrow. Things can happen that will keep me from doing my workout. But if something happens and it keeps me from doing my workout, then I know that I have to get right back up on the next day and give it a try. I'm not going to allow little things to push me back to the point where I don't go forward. I hope all that made sense to you all. I know it was a little bit all over the place. Y'all know how I talk. I talk from the cuff. I just allow God to put the words in my mouth and I let them come out. I usually don't have a true way to say the things that I need to say. I just know that they need to be said. When I had the experience that I had today, I've really felt the need to share that with you all. My word to you is don't listen to me. Don't look towards me for me to give you any type of workout schedule, routine, or talk to you about nutrition because I will never be that person. But I am going to be that voice of encouragement. Only you can make these things happen for you. I will be there to be that realistic person on the sideline saying, I had a rough day today. I fought hard to go to the gym. And there may be days that I will sit here and I will tell you, I had a rough day today and I didn't go to the gym. I'm not going to allow that to hurt me to the point where it keeps me from getting back up and doing it on the next day. I'm bound and determined. I may not get back to being the size that I was before. I don't know. That's my goal. But if I don't, I'm not going to let it discourage me because if I don't, I'm going to be fit in the size that I am. I'm going to be grateful in the size that I am because I'm here, I'm healthy, and this just might be where I need to be right now. I'm going to try to get there, but I'm just not going to focus on the numbers because if I focus on the numbers, I'm going to drive myself crazy. All right. If you made it this far and you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so now. Turn on the notifications. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you are a returning subscriber, you already know the love I feel for you. See you in the next one. Bye bye.